It is Thursday, October 16th, 2025. This is another playoff edition of Baseball Today, presented to you by Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Looking for a refreshing citrusy kick? Go grab yourself a Mountain Dew. That is my man, Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose, producer Dan, and intern Sawyer along for the ride as well. All right. We got double headers coming your way on Thursday and Friday now. That is locked and loaded based on what happened in Game 3 in Seattle. A lot to cover, dude.
A lot to cover, a lot of baseball. Even though there's only 4 teams left, I feel like we're on more now than we are during the regular season.
It feels that way.
Doesn't it?
These are beefy shows. We got a lot to break down.
Well,
Let's get to it.
These have been beef.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I feel bad. Sometimes there's a tip of the cap. Sometimes there isn't. We're going to take you overseas to the Vatican for this one.
They lost.
I love it. Pope Leo XIV, of course, a well-renowned White Sox fan. Here's a fan say, "Go Cubs," and he says they lost. The trash talking from the top of the food chain.
I kind of love it. That is the state of the White Sox. It's so bad that even though you got the holiest guy in the land right now, you still can't put together any sort of a winning season. Unbelievable, man.
Yeah, but
Go America, though. We got a Pope.
Yeah, that was cool though. I thought it was funny. I chuckled at it, no question. All right, team north of the border. We were wondering, lose the first 2 games at home, fly all the way out of their country and across our country as well. And you're thinking, man, Seattle, that place is just going to be flying. It's their first ALCS game in 24 years. They take an early 2-0 lead, but then the Blue Jays pile in thanks to their big man, Vlad.
Vlad Jr. sends a high drive to deep center field. Rodriguez to the wall. It's gone. First pitch of the 5th. Vlad Jr. launches a solo shot. Single, double, homer, Vlad Jr.'s back.
You know, I hit it good, but I hit it too high. But to me, it's like when I saw him, he dropped his head down. I said, he not got it. But to me, I was a little bit scary, yeah.
What a night for him, a 4-hit night. In fact, he's the 4th Blue Jay to have a 4-hit game in the playoffs, and they've been playing for less than 2 weeks. This one that he hit off the wall, I thought that thing was going to get impaled in the wall, by the way.
No, he had some really, really nice swings. I mean, a lot of Blue Jays had some really nice swings tonight, but Vlad was locked in. Did you think he was going to try to go for 3 on that last one?
No, because it made it to the wall too quickly. If it had just kind of slowed down a little bit, I thought that maybe it would have a shot, but
couldn't his buddy Julio hook him up there? The game was out of hand anyway. I'm just a little slower to this one.
Maybe he already hooked him up by not catching that ball in center field, because we've seen enough guys do that. Here's the double to right center. It just had. Yeah, it had.
He needed to get hung up under the wall there. Yeah,
that would have been fun. So he did his job, and they are a different offense when he is killing it. He went 0 for 7 in those first 2 games, but here in the playoffs, I think he's now 13 for 28. Led the way with 6 Jays having multi-hit games. Now, do you remember the question that I asked on Wednesday's show about Toronto bouncing back? If you don't remember, and if our community doesn't remember, roll it, Dan. Give me a player on Toronto's side that has got to pick it up. If you were to give him a little bit of a pep talk, go.
I think it's got to be the bottom of the order.
Here's a high fly ball off of the bat of Jimenez that's carrying well. Robles turns and watches it fly. It's the 9-hitter, Andres Jimenez, of all people, giving Toronto the swing that it desperately needed.
I need a guy to say, you know what? I love hitting in Seattle, and I'm not afraid to hit against this pitching staff, which has been so good, because I've had tremendous success. And so I'm going to go with Alejandro Kirk.
Kirk sends a fly ball the other way. Robles retreating to the track, to the wall. That's another home run. Opposite field blast for Alejandro Kirk.
Okay. We finally got one right. It took us 6.5 months, but we finally got something right, dude. Wait. High five over here. No, other side. Yeah, nice.
That's weird. This is a mirrored thing. I'm going away from it on my side. Look, I got a little help from Schneider. He moved the lineup around a little bit, put Santander right in the middle, which moved Clement down to the 8th spot. Clement's been a dog, all postseason long. And Jimenez right there after the game was talking to your guy Kenny Rosenthal and says, I wasn't trying to hit a homer. I was just trying to pull the ball. So he got a good pitch to hit, but a good swing on it. And that, look, it tied the game. I was mentioning you got to get on for the guys at the top of the order. I didn't know he was going to hit a homer like that, but clearly that got that team going. Later that inning, Dalton Varsho with the big knock. So there was up and down that lineup, as you mentioned, just great at bat after great at bat, and then they mixed in 5 homers, I believe it ended up being. Yep. So that's why you end up scoring 13 runs against the Seattle pitching staff. Great at bats. Long ball as well. It was a perfect night for the Blue Jays.
Does it feel like they're back, or does it feel like a blip on the radar? Because that's not the easiest stadium in which to score runs.
They're back, but it means nothing tomorrow. Right. That's the truth. It doesn't. I think I talked to Jake about this a little bit. The way they won helps them set up the rest of the series. They didn't have to use any of their high leverage guys. Those guys got some more rest. A bunch of good swings up and down the lineup. So now you're collectively feeling good as an offense. If they were to win a 2-1 game, tightly contested game, I don't think it sets them up as well as this game did for the rest of the series, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does. And they really took it to George Kirby, who pitched very well in his 2 starts against the Tigers. So they crushed his sinker. Did you see that stat that Fox had up there where batters had been 0 for 17, and on this night they were 5 for 10 against that?
They're all over it.
Yeah, that was really actually good stuff by Fox to get that in there. Very, very good perspective. And does that mean that they had changed something in their game plan, or is it just that Kirby wasn't as effective?
I think he was missing over the plate, and they were aggressive like they kind of always are. They were aggressive early in the count on his stuff, and he was just a little bit too over the plate.
Yeah. Just as important was the performance by Shane Bieber, and we kind of wondered what he would be. He didn't even make it through the 3rd in his first playoff start up there at Yankee Stadium, couldn't hold a huge lead. And here he gave up the 2-run shot to Julio in the 1st, allowed another hit by Polanco, and you're thinking, oh, man, they're down on the road. This place, if the roof had been shut, it probably would have been blown off at that point. And after that, he only allowed 2 more hits, ends up going 6 innings, ties a career high in terms of playoff Ks with 8, and just looked a lot like the guy that won the Cy Young.
Yeah, a ton of swings and misses tonight, 17, which is most this season. And then you're right, he ended on the flurry, 17 of the last 19 batters that he faced, gone. So, he had the cushion, which I think alleviates some of the pressure, which is nice. But, he gave them a start that bodes well for confidence going further. If he, gets a start in the World Series, he's going to be able to draw on this one.
Yeah, well, I thought the biggest thing was that he was able to extinguish the fire there in the 1st, but then the Blue Jays come back with a nice inning, and then Bieber came out, and I think he struck out the side in the bottom of the 2nd, and I thought that was enormous for him, because how many times have you seen, okay, we get back, we're in this thing, but then your pitcher gives up some runs? What's going on?
I'm just trying to think. I was thinking, will he get another start? Would he start Game 7?
Yeah, if you start Game 3, you can start Game 7. Yeah, because what they'll go is 4-5 off, 6-7.
Yeah, okay.
So you can. So he'll have days off for Games 4 and 5, an off day for the travel, an off day for 6, and so you can come back. Yeah, but that's one of those games when you get to Game 7, it's everybody is available except most likely the guy who started the day.
And even then,
you just don't know, although it would probably be you savage at that point, and so you're not going to do that to a 22-year-old. But pretty good effort by the Blue Jays. Fun. It just means that we are at least get 2 more days where we have doubleheader baseball, and so that makes a lot of us baseball fans happy out there. Hey, based on hundreds of millions of real-world tests, the experts at Ookla Speed Test, they have spoken. T-Mobile, now the best mobile network in all of America. So you can keep up with all of the baseball postseason action from the ballpark to the back country. Why? Because T-Mobile, it's got the most advanced 5G, the most towers, and a signal that goes farther than ever. So whether you're streaming the game out and about, or you're checking stats on the road, or experiencing ballpark perks with Magenta Status, you're ready to stay connected wherever your fandom takes you. All you have to do is head on over to T-Mobile.com/network to switch to the very best network out there. Go do that today. So now we look ahead to Thursday's Game 4. Luis Castillo is going to get the start for the hometown Mariners against Max Scherzer, who has not pitched in several weeks in a game, injured and ineffective for much of 2025.
You have hiccups all the time, ailments all the time, and I can't tell how many times I've had something and gone out there and pitched well and won. So I don't want to sit here and go backwards and blame injuries for any way I pitched. When I take the mound, I take the mound, and I'm going to win. I have the attitude I'm going to win no matter what.
And that's what, of course, will make him a future Hall of Famer. Now, going out there with that mentality is one thing. Actually being able to do it at age 41 when you had an ERA of almost 11 in your 4 September starts is an entirely different thing. What is the key for Max Scherzer?
The key, he's got to spot up. I think that's the most important thing. Cannot be middle of the zone. And I think he's going to get through tomorrow's start. And I don't think it's a true start. I think this ends up being a bullpen-ish game for them. He just has to live on the peripherals. Do not get over the heart of the plate. And he's going to win it with just like grit and like determination. I hate using those words, but at this point, that's what he kind of has. And Schneider, was talking about why they decided to go with him. He mentioned like he's been watching him pitch on the side, and a lot of the things that plagued him later in the career, he's cleaned up. His slider got banged around a lot this season. I believe the guys hit over 300 on it. So he's got to spot that up a little bit better. I'm assuming, Chris, we're looking at
one time through the order.
That'd be great.
Wow.
They'd celebrate that. Don't you think?
It's so disheartening that one of the great gamers that we've had in baseball.
Yeah, but he's
I know.
He's 41, hasn't thrown in 3 weeks, hasn't started a game.
I know. But it's also sad because it could be the last time we see him take a major league mound, and it's just been weird. The end of this career has been very, very strange, don't you think? I mean, it's not unexpected because at this age, teams are going to sign you to a 1-year deal. You're going to get traded, which is what happened, right? He went from the Mets. He went to the Rangers, ends up winning a ring there, moves along, goes to Toronto. You're like, it's feeling odd. I don't know how to describe it.
The end of guys like this career who play for so freaking long always kind of feel that way. And that's why I think a lot of guys like, if you can stick with one team, it just seems so much cleaner. And there is just something about that. Scherzer obviously is not going to be able to do that, but he's had such a phenomenal career. Let's do the salary guess game with Max Scherzer.
Oh, man. Okay, well, so he signed in Washington for about $215, but that was with all of the money that was deferred. So do we have to include that with interest? Please don't make me do that.
No, just what he's going to get paid. And this is his 18th year. What?
Okay, I'm going to say it is $373 million.
I was going to just say 20 a year, average 18, so 360. That was my guess.
Do you have the answer?
Scrolling. And we have arrived. $366 million.
We split the difference.
Yeah. Sheesh.
God almighty.
I hope that Scherzer goes out there. This is like fan fiction for Blue Jays fans in particular. Sorry, Mariners fans. Let me just give this to him and to Scherzer. I hope he's dealing and he gets through one time through the order, and Schneider goes out there and to take the ball from him, and then he doesn't let him, and Schneider walks back to the dugout, tail between his legs, and Max goes 2 times through the order, gets him 5 strong, 6 strong, whatever it is.
He's just always been one of my favorite guys. I've always enjoyed talking to him. He's so interesting. He's a gazillion miles an hour. His teammates love him, except on the days where he doesn't pitch because he is such a pain in the ass in the dugout. Like, he cannot sit still in the most fun, like, playful sort of way. The dude, he's 41, but he cannot stop moving. He's always talking to somebody. And do you remember, like, when he was with Washington and in the playoffs, and I don't know who he's MFing. Is he talking to the hitter? Is he talking to himself?
Yes.
He's always doing that stuff.
I mean, I was in the box against this guy being like, you are just not a regular person out there.
Yeah,
and for the people that don't know, 1 for 17, 8 Ks.
Get in line, though. I think there's a lot of those dudes from the right side in particular.
Do you remember the trade that sent him from Arizona to Detroit? Because I have that up.
Yeah, so that was a 3-team trade, if I'm not mistaken. I
was.
thought it was between Arizona, Detroit, and the Yankees.
It was.
And I want to say that Ian Kennedy went from the Yankees to the Diamondbacks.
Yes.
I want to say that Curtis Granderson went from the Tigers to the Yankees.
Yes.
And I want to say that Scherzer and Daniel Schlereth went from Arizona to Detroit.
Yes, you missed a few because there's a lot of moving parts here. The Tigers also sent Edwin Jackson to the Diamondbacks.
Well, of course. I mean, Edwin Jackson was involved in every transaction at some point over a 6-year span.
And then the Yankees sent a couple of young guys to the Tigers. Do you remember them? One pitcher, one outfielder.
One pitcher, one outfielder.
From the Yankees to the Tigers.
Oh, Austin Jackson went.
Dan, what the freak?
Come on, Dan. Yeah, Dan got that.
And
you said a pitcher, huh?
Left-handed pitcher.
Yes. Oh, yes. Either Benuel. What's his name? Manuel. No,
he's a soda.
Who?
A soda.
I don't even know who that is. Who?
Phil Koch.
Oh, Phil Koch. He's a soda. I was like, who is soda? SOTA? Who is that? Phil Koch. Dude, he was a piece of work, that guy.
He was a piece of work. I got some knocks against him, if I remember.
Did you ever talk to him?
Of course, yeah.
Oh, he was.
Let's see the numbers on me and Phil Koch.
He was off his rocker.
But kind of in a fun way.
Quick. Kind of in a fun way. While you're looking those up, Luis Castillo, very good numbers in the playoffs. Not good numbers against the Blue Jays this year. Just want to throw that out there. 2 starts, 10 innings pitched, 8 runs allowed, 17 hits. 17 hits. If you're the Blue Jays, you got to be feeling good, I suppose, right?
Well, I mean, you had a great offensive night tonight going up against the guy you've had success against. I would say, and I told this to Jake too, this is what you brought. This is why you traded for Luis Castillo if you're the Mariners, to pitch big games to get you one step closer to the World Series, man. And I've loved watching Luis Castillo pitch for a long time. Both these guys, I'm going to be rooting for the pitchers tomorrow. I think that's kind of my take on Game 4. Mm-hmm. I'm rooting for these guys to get the job done.
Yeah, and it's been, I mean, home teams in the LCS this year, 0 for 5. It's, I mean, I went to every World Series game in 2019 when the home team went 0 for 7. It is a weird feeling when you go to these places and you're seeing it, and it's so much fun when places erupt.
Yeah.
But it's also so much fun when they go silent.
Seattle had that for 1 inning tonight.
Yeah, they did.
It was loud.
It was loud when Julio hit that homer. What are your Coke numbers?
2 for 5 for the double.
Good.
Yeah. I remember this in particular. I got beaned the bat before I faced him one game, and I got to 3-0 against him, and I was like acting like my arm hurt, like you know. 3-0, I took a massive hack and just lined one right back up the middle at him.
Nice.
Okey-doked him. Yes.
That's good. I'll give you one other thing about the Mariners rotation.
Okay.
Let's say when Brian Wu is healthy, Luis Castillo is 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 in that rotation.
Oh my gosh. Don't ask me that.
Come on, why not? It's fun. I'd love to hear Seattle fans on this one. This is
He is 4.
4. So you've got Gilbert and Miller ahead of him?
Well, is Miller and like if all these guys are healthy and like going by stuff right now, I think you can kind of just pick your poison, to be honest with you. There's not too many guys that separate themselves. Wu did this year. Gilbert's had years. Kirby's had years. I think Bryce Miller is very talented as well. I mean, it's like, again, like I don't think there's too many separating factors
You don't want
in this. Do you? Do you think there's a clear-cut ace?
I think I'd put him after Gilbert. I like Gilbert's stuff a lot.
So 3?
Put him in 3.
But they're like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, of course.
Wu this year,
listen, man,
had 26 consecutive quality starts. Whatever the freak it was, it was awesome.
To me.
But there's been, anyways.
Okay, fun. Let us know, and also let us know what the biggest key. I think it's huge, boy. If Toronto, I'd love to see Toronto at least apply a little pressure there in the top of the first to make things interesting. I like being antsy. Once again, I don't care who wins. Seattle, Toronto. I had Seattle at the beginning of the playoffs going to the World Series, and I thought, well, they weren't even going to get past Detroit, but I don't know. I just wanted more baseball. So people get mad at me for that. How do you want more baseball? Because I don't root for your team. I root for the team from Cleveland. If Cleveland was playing right now, I'd be rooting for a 4-game sweep by the Guardians. I wouldn't be rooting for more baseball. But since they're not there, I am. There you go. Hey, did you know there is nothing better than ripping packs during October baseball? That's right, Arena Club. It's a new way to grade, collect, invest, sell, trade cards, and it's all online. Here's how it works. Rip an Arena Club slab pack where you're guaranteed to get one real graded card instantly revealed. Once you got your card, instead of hiding it in your shoebox or in your closet, you can share and display it in your personal online showroom. Or use Arena Club's online marketplace to get instant offers based on market value. There's no guessing, no waiting. And with 3 specialty drops each week, you could rip anything from rookies to superstars like Judge or Ohtani. Arena Club, it's the place to start your collection or level it up with transparency, with safety, and grails you're not going to find anywhere else. Chase your own grails at arenaclub.com/baseball today. Get 20% off your first pack. The code, once again, is baseball today. All right, on Thursday, the NLCS resumes. The Dodgers leading the Brewers 2-0 in that best-of-7 series as things shift from Milwaukee to Los Angeles. It's Tyler Glass now against who knows? Who knows? Pat Murphy said they were going to discuss it. He said, we're not trying to be secretive here or anything. We're still working on a few things.
It's going to be a lefty.
It will be a lefty in inning 1, and then we'll see from there. Lots of people are counting out the Brew Crew. However, do not count Austin Murphy, the 10-year-old son of skipper Pat Murphy, among them.
Well, the guys respond back really good. Like, started the season 0-4. Those games were not good, but then they responded with the best record in baseball, so I believe they can do it.
That away, Austin. Look at Pat with the big smile. Now, I don't always love him bringing his kids up there and stuff.
Yeah, you were dogging on him for that.
Well, because I do think there's time and place. Like, I'm okay after you celebrate, you win a divisional round, like celebrate with your family. That's cool. But, now he has handled it great. And Austin, A+ answer. That part was awesome. Can you be optimistic for Austin at all? Is there a way to be optimistic?
You could say that, how many winning streaks did this Brewers team go on this year? They were over 4 games, a ton of them. So you could say that's all it really takes. Now, the Dodgers are, a formidable opponent. There's no doubt about it. I think specifically for tomorrow, and you cited this a ton, and you brought it to my attention. I really hadn't thought about it this way, but going up against Glass now, just pester him, get on base, make him feel uncomfortable, make him pitch out of the stretch, run on him, do all the little things right, and then try to get to that bullpen as early as possible. So put up essentially that means you're going to put up some runs against Glass now, get into the bullpen where they can't just go starter to Vesia or Sasaki. Like, get into some of that meaty bullpen that, in their minds, they know they've struggled. I think that is the key. And how you do that is to pester Glasnow, make him get off the bump, throw some bunts down, do these little things that put you on those winning streaks during the year. We talked about it all year long, how the Brewers can score in a bunch of different ways, and they got to get back to that.
Yeah, that really wasn't Philly's MO, and that's why in part Glasnow looked so good. That he 6 innings, shutout innings against Philadelphia in the clinching game, and he pitched really well. I'm going to throw something weird at you because Milwaukee's numbers collectively, the guys that are on this NLCS roster, are not good. A combined 5.10 OPS. There's really 2 guys that have done any sort of damage against Tyler Glasnow. Terang is one. The other guy is the backup catcher, Danny Jansen, who's 2 for 6, but he's clicked Glasnow twice. Is there any way that you would put him in as a DH in this game and put Yelich in the outfield?
So who would that bump out? Collins or?
Yeah.
I think Schneider did it tonight, and he put Santander right in the middle of his lineup, and that was kind of expected. He had good numbers against Kirby. I understand that, so that's kind of the same.
He's also a $90 million ball player.
Doesn't matter at this point. The guy barely played this year. I don't think that matters at all. I wouldn't hate the move, and some people might call it a desperation move.
It is desperate time.
Well, here's the thing. We talk all the time about chasing platoon splits and hitting in lanes and all these things. What's the difference between a lane, a platoon split, and a guy that has good numbers against a pitcher? It's all the same.
Yeah.
You're trying to put guys in the most advantageous spots possible. So if you got a bunch of guys who don't see Glasnow well and one guy that does, and you're sitting him on the bench, how does that make any sense?
That's why I suggested it.
I like it, Chris. You should run Cleveland's freaking front office.
Yeah, well, that'd be a little different.
Outfield power.
I'd be reaching into the owner's pockets when he's not looking. You grab that credit card. Here, I'd like to go get a right-handed outfield bat, please. Thank you.
Please.
But I would like a receipt in case I have to return it.
And a new closer.
You know what? So we just heard from little Austin Murphy. Now let's hear from Tyler Glasnow about Game 3.
We have a lot of good starting pitching. I think because we have a lot of good hitting, I think a lot of times it will line up all together at some points, and then sometimes in season it won't. I feel like towards the end of the season we started playing really good baseball, and then as the postseason has started, we've all just kind of clicked and kind of gotten on a new level. The vibes are really good in the clubhouse. Everyone's feeling great, and it's just a good time to get hot.
You know what? Knowing him the way I do over the last several years, he sounds like he's in a really, really good place. I don't think it was the easiest year for him. Again, he was injured. Again, it felt like at times, unless things were just perfect, that things were going to get off kilter with him a little bit. And then I think at the beginning of the playoffs, he was a little unsettled because he didn't know what his role was going to be, right? They had to play in a wild card round. You only have best of 3 there, so he wasn't going to get a start. He hadn't pitched out of the bullpen in 8 years since his days in Pittsburgh. So I think he feels centered, and it wouldn't shock me if he comes out with a gem here in Game 3.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me either, Chris, the way things have gone for the Dodgers this series. But there is a path for both teams to have success tomorrow. I truly believe that.
I will say this. I can guarantee you he's not going to duplicate Yamamoto because he's never thrown a complete game. He hasn't gone 8 innings since April of 2024, so he probably won't duplicate what Snell did. But I think they would definitely live with 6 innings and maybe a couple of runs, and that would be that.
Did you see Shohei came out on the field and took BP today? He never does that.
And did you see what he did?
He swung and missed.
He also hit one out of the stadium.
Oh, well, he swung and missed on the first pitch.
He also hit one out of the stadium.
He's different. If that is, if he gets going, it's game over.
Well, it's going to be interesting because you will see Jose Quintana in this game. In fact, he was one of the guys up on the dais to talk to the media on the off day. And they said, do you have any idea? He goes, I don't know when, but I expect to be in there at some point in Game 3. Now, do you remember what happened the last time Quintana faced off against the Dodgers? It was Game 4. He got the start for the Mets in the NLCS. Who's the first batter he faced?
I'm guessing Shohei. I don't really remember this.
Here you go.
Oh, God, that swing.
That's the leadoff homer.
Top spin homer that went freaking 420 feet.
So, just saying, Quintana's going to have to give them some length, and my guess is at some point he's going to face Ohtani. Just be careful.
Do you think they go Ashby again, open with him?
I do. Yeah. I think
Ashby, a righty, and then Quintana in that lane
not
again?
necessarily. It wouldn't surprise me if Quintana goes next.
Yeah.
He's gone reliever, then starter several times throughout the playoffs. So
I'd go Koenig. I'd open with Koenig.
Would you?
I think save Ashby for later in the game.
Interesting.
I don't know. Maybe not. If you got Miz ready to go, I don't know. They got such weird pitching going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, Murphy really has to like dig in and really make like true managerial decisions where like Dave Roberts, they've showed him and they've mentioned on the broadcast multiple times. He's sitting there like this. Like he really hasn't had to make any decisions at all in this series. And Pat Murphy's like, fuck, how do I navigate this? I guess truthfully, Murphy hasn't had to make too many difficult decisions so far in this series.
Yeah, for the wrong reasons.
Wrong reasons, yeah.
Yeah. Got a winner?
Oh. Yeah, I'm on the Dodgers train here. I think it is just a steamrolling engine.
Does Austin Murphy appear in the post-game press conference?
Ooh, if they go down 3-0?
I bet you he's there. I'm not going to love it. I mean, I'm rooting. Look, I'm in a tough spot. Tyler's a buddy. I want to see him pitch very well. I'd like to see maybe the Brewers take it to the Dodgers.
I would too. I
want more baseball. As everybody says, y'all are Dodger hater.
Oh,
really?
Dude.
Stop.
I've been reading the comments too much lately. I need to get out of it.
Me too. And
we hate every team. Don't you know that?
Huh?
We hate every team.
I'm going to let y'all know this. I like one team. I love one team. That's it. Rest of it, I just want some good baseball. It doesn't mean I hate your team, but whatever. How about the American League? Is it 2-2 or 3-1?
I think the Mariners are going to go.
I think it's 3-1 as well. I think it's 3-1. All right, we need you people give us some scores and give us just one line about each game. Like, what's the big theme that we're going to be talking about for Friday's show?
Say that again. I missed that.
I said I need our people in the comments to give us. You don't have to give us the final scores. You can if you want to do that in the comments. But for each game, who wins, and give us a one line about something interesting that happens that we're going to be talking about. And if you're good and you nail it, maybe we'll give you a little love on the show. So there you go. All right, let's move on off the field news. We know that the Angels are interested in Albert Pujols for their managerial vacancy. Apparently, you can add the Baltimore Orioles to that list as well. Alden Gonzalez and Jeff Passan of ESPN reported, even though there are no formal interviews that have happened, there is interest apparently. Would you rather see Albert on the West Coast or the East Coast if it's those two teams?
I mean, I hadn't given 1 ounce of thought to Albert Pujols managing the Baltimore Orioles, man. That is out of nowhere. But I guess we have so many openings. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if he's using this for leverage for a contract with the Angels, if he wants to stay out there saying, hey, I got other offers, so you better up that offer, Artie Moreno, right?
I mean, I guess so. Yes.
It's business, bro. He's doing that, okay? And look, I think there is some appeal to the Orioles, maybe more so than the Angels. I happen to think the Angels have like a pretty decent young core. Now, you got to go
better than the Orioles.
Not better than the Orioles. But it's not a horrible spot to be in.
I would agree.
If you can convince your guy Artie Moreno to make some moves and change some things around. That's what I would say. Yeah, it'd be interesting. It'd be really weird to see Albert Pujols in that uniform managing. It really would.
It's going to be weird, period. Now, I know I'm happy for him that he has managed in the Dominican Winter League and won a championship, which is awesome. And he's also going to manage in the World Baseball Classic if he doesn't take one of these jobs, which it really sounds like he's going to. I think Baltimore is fascinating, to be honest with you. What's the problem?
I was like, okay, I knew that he went somewhere strange at the end of his career. It was the Dodgers.
Yeah, you don't.
I forgot about that.
Hold on, didn't he hit
Yeah.
milestone home run in a – oh, no, it was against the Dodgers. That
Yeah,
hit
he hit
Wings
his
in St. Louis.
700th in St. Louis.
In St. Louis. Again, I think it was against the Dodgers, wasn't it?
It could have been. He was an all-star that last season. Is that like one of those things where they just made him an all-star?
Yeah.
He did have an 895 OPS through 109 games.
Yeah, he was he killing left-handed pitching? Is that what he was doing at that point?
24 homers in 109 games in his age 42 season.
That's pretty awesome.
St. Louis Cardinals, dude.
That's pretty great. I would like to see him, I think, in Baltimore. They're coming off an 87-loss season, and I think outside of the Braves, maybe right up there with the Braves, they were baseball's most disappointing team because they had this young core that we all expected to, and some of these guys have gone backward. Now, Gunnar, he actually ended up playing 154 games, which shocked me, and he tied for the team lead in homers. You have any idea what that number was?
Ooh, 18.
17.
Oh, that's a pretty good guess.
There were 3 guys that hit 17. I think it was him, Westberg, and Holiday, maybe. But that's it.
Oh, that's something I didn't think about.
Yeah.
Oh, the Holiday connection. That's cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Interesting.
And maybe he gets Adley Rutschman pointed in the right direction.
Yeah.
Who knows? But I can tell you this, that wherever he ends up, whether it's Baltimore or Anaheim or somewhere else, there aren't many superstars that manage. There just aren't. Like Joe Torre, outstanding player, 9-time All-Star, I want to say, league MVP. Don Mattingly, league MVP.
Paul Molitor.
Paul Molitor, yeah. Now, Trammell and Molitor, both Hall of Famers. But Albert Pujols is in such a different stratosphere than even those guys.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
700 homers? Well, that's why?
Albert Pujols.
You can't get any better than a Hall of Famer.
Well, yeah, you can, because there are tiers of Hall of Fame. Don't give me that. There's tiers of Hall of Famers.
Don't disrespect my guy, Paul Molitor, okay?
That's
don't
not disrespectful.
You just did.
Wait a second. Are you trying to tell me that Paul Molitor was as good a player as Albert Pujols?
Different
I saw
player.
Paul Molitor's entire career.
Different player.
Different player. Awesome. Could really run and steal bases and all that sort of stuff. This guy, he was the machine. That's what they called him, man. He's freakish.
I know what you're saying. Hey, I did the salary check for Pujols. You want to give it a guess?
Yeah,
I already did it.
That one's got to be he got 240 from the Angels, and he got like 105 from the Cardinals, if I remember correctly. I'm going to say 392.
346.
What?
Yep.
Come on.
Just nothing. You made nothing, Pujols.
That's my fault. I'm sorry about that. Playoff season. We're here. So whether you're at a watch party or a tailgate or you're hanging with friends after the game, nothing levels up those moments like the refreshing tropical lime kick of what? Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Baja Blast. It's absolutely legendary. It's available, can, bottle. Bring that tropical flavor to your next watch party. So this postseason, you're hanging with friends. You're rooting for your favorite team. You just love the game. You're grabbing food late night after the game. Maybe you're going to a fall tailgate, college football. We're smack dab in the middle of that. Grab something that'll really help it all tie together. That is Baja Blast. And do not wait. Grab Mountain Dew Baja Blast today. Taste the tropical refresh that takes every occasion to the next level. It always does. Find it now at mountaindew.com/finddew. Nice job by the Baltimore Orioles, by the way. We're just talking about them. You know, the Rams had an interesting schedule. They played in Baltimore against the Ravens last Sunday, and now they're flying to London. So instead of going back to L.A. and then flying 11 hours to London, they've been practicing in Baltimore. And where did they do that Wednesday? At Camden Yards, the football field. It's the first time they've ever had another sporting event inside of this venue. So the Rams, as you saw them, they were coming out of the Orioles clubhouse along the first base line. There's Devontae Adams taking a cut. Love that. Yeah, Byron Young. What's up, Muscles? Oh, Puna Ford, 340-pounder. Kyron Williams. They're all loving this stuff. And even your boy, Matthew Stafford, rumor has it, might have been high school teammates with future Baseball Hall of Famer. Look at him behind the dish.
He played short and caught. That's what he did. I asked him about pitching before. He's like, yeah, I just never really did it. I have my positions that I played. He said he got on the mound and we put out a post. And he goes, hey, you guys are blowing up my spot here a little bit. And he goes, tell him it was 3 consecutive strikes, though.
Well, can you see that sign?
Yeah.
What does it say?
Like, stay off, no cleats on tarp or something like that.
And what's he doing?
They're moldeds.
He's wearing cleats on the. Come on, Matthew.
He'll buy him a new tarp. Now that guy, the money. Let's do his.
Does he just leave like $5,000 on the mound? Just say, hey boys, thanks. Here you go.
You know what? I'm sure that they are going to take care of the grounds crew very well.
Of course.
Yeah, I was talking to them. They're having a good time there, or they had a good time there.
I mean, for him being a baseball fan-ish, did he enjoy seeing the place?
Yeah, I mean, Camden's one of those places that I think even non-baseball players know that stadium.
Right.
So, yeah.
You mean football players know that stadium?
Non-baseball players.
Non-baseball players. Okay,
Yeah.
I got it. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's neat for them. It was fun to watch all the Rams come out and start fake swinging, and I'm sure they would have loved to take batting practice there. You kidding me?
I thought they would have just for fun, but I guess not.
Yeah, we've seen that over the years. I remember a bunch of years ago, the Vikings. Oh my God, who was it? I forget. He had such a good swing. One of their defensive linemen or linebackers, and I forget who it was, but man, he was awesome. He was knocking tanks out when you were there, dude.
I'm trying to think who it was. I think I know who you're talking about. Is oh my God.
It was Stephon Diggs was also there, and it looked like he had never swung a bat. Do you remember this?
I had a great talk with Stephon Diggs in the weight room when they came in. We were talking about the players' associations for both leagues, and you couldn't believe all the things that we were getting. What's the guy's name? He owns a vodka company now. I think it was him.
Seriously?
Jared something.
This is crushing me because I hate it that I can't remember who it was on defense. He was really, really funny.
Hold on, let me get him up.
I know. This is a crusher for me.
Hold on.
What are we doing here?
Come on. I'm looking it up now. Chad Greenway.
No, Everson Griffin. Griffin.
Yeah.
That's
Notre Dame
exactly
guy.
who it was.
Or is he an SC guy?
Yes, very good.
Yeah.
Everson Griffin. He was killing the ball. I think he was left-handed, if I'm not mistaken. He came out.
I don't really remember that.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly who it was. So, okay. That's all we got. We got 2 games on Thursday, 2 on Friday. We'll be very excited. Cannot wait. For our one-of-a-kind producer, Dan Rourke, our awesome intern Sawyer, that is the uber-talented Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose. We will see you Friday here on Baseball Today, presented to you by Mountain Dew Baja Blast.